this fall, instead of filling your home with decorations that disappear as quickly as the season, you could create rooms that feel as though they have been gathering memories for generations. Imagine the soft glow of candlelight reflecting on aged brass, a weathered wooden table dressed with linen, antique books stacked beside a bowl of heirloom apples, and the comforting colors of rust, amber, cream, and deep brown wrapping every corner in warmth. Welcome to today's vintage fall cottage decorating ideas, where we are exploring how to create a cozy autumn home filled with nostalgic character, timeless beauty, and irresistible cottage charm. From vintage home decor and antique treasures to cottagecore decorating ideas, warm textiles, and beautiful fall layers, there is so much inspiration ahead. And trust me, the most magical idea may be the simplest one, so stay with us until the end. The heart of vintage cottage decor is not perfection. In fact, the tiny imperfections are often what make a room feel most beautiful. A slightly worn picture frame, a wooden bowl with a soft patina, an old ceramic pitcher, or a quilt that looks as though it has been loved for decades can instantly bring emotional warmth into a home. This fall, think of decorating as storytelling. Instead of asking, "Does everything match?" ask, "Does this room feel collected?" Mix antiques with newer pieces, family heirlooms with thrifted finds, and simple natural materials with elegant details. Recent nostalgic decorating inspiration has also highlighted heirloom furniture, glass-fronted storage, natural wood, traditional window treatments, and cafe curtains as ways to make interiors feel deeply personal and rooted in memory. The goal is a home that feels collected over time rather than decorated in one afternoon. Before bringing out pumpkins or candles, begin with the colors that will define your cozy fall home decor. Vintage fall interiors are especially beautiful when the palette feels softened by time. Think burnt sienna, cinnamon, tobacco brown, faded ochre, muted pumpkin, moss green, burgundy, antique gold, warm cream, and dusky rose. Rather than using every bright autumn color at once, choose 2 or 3 dominant tones and let the others appear as gentle accents. A cream sofa becomes richer with a rust-colored wool throw. Dark wood furniture becomes warmer beside ochre flowers. A faded green cabinet can suddenly feel perfectly autumnal when paired with brass and deep red accents. Heritage shades such as dusty rose, soft yellow, sage green, Duck egg blue and warm pale orange are also being revisited for their nostalgic, lived-in appeal. This softer approach gives your fall home decorating a timeless quality that can remain beautiful long after Halloween has passed. If there is one material that immediately brings vintage warmth into a room, it is wood with character. A dark oak table, a worn pine stool, an antique sideboard, or a small wooden chair can become the visual anchor of your autumn cottage decor. Look for pieces with visible grain, natural imperfections, gentle scratches, and a finish that feels aged rather than overly polished. Darker antique woods are especially effective in fall because they ground lighter fabrics and make seasonal colors appear richer. Try styling a wooden table with a simple linen runner, brass candlesticks, a ceramic bowl of pears, and a few fallen branches. You do not need an entire room filled with antiques. One beautiful old piece surrounded by simple decor can make the whole space feel more established. Remember, timeless home decor often begins with materials that grow more beautiful as they age. Your living room should feel like an invitation to stay a little longer. Begin by layering comfort. A vintage-inspired quilt over the sofa, a wool throw folded over an armchair, embroidered cushions, and perhaps one or two plaid pillows in muted fall colors. This is where cozy cottage decorating ideas truly come alive. Add a wooden coffee table and style it with antique books, a small ceramic vessel, a brass candle holder, and seasonal fruit instead of overcrowding it with too many themed decorations. Natural textures such as linen, wool, velvet, aged leather, and woven baskets create the depth that makes a room feel warm even before the fire is lit. Fringe and tassel details can also add a subtle vintage touch through lampshades, cushions, furniture, or decorative trim. The secret is to create layers that feel touchable, relaxed, and wonderfully lived in. One of the easiest ways to transform your home for autumn is through textiles, and this is where you can have enormous fun with vintage cottage style. Bring out old quilts, patchwork blankets, crocheted throws, wool plaids, floral tablecloths, and linen napkins. Search your own home first. You may already own a forgotten blanket or fabric that can become part of your fall decorating story. A vintage tablecloth can become a charming runner. An old quilt can be draped over the end of a bed. A collection of mismatched linens can make a dining table feel more personal than a perfectly coordinated set. Choose patterns with history: faded florals, tiny checks, ticking stripes, tartan, paisley, and delicate embroidery. The result should feel layered but not chaotic, following the beautiful collected, not cluttered philosophy. Every fabric should add either warmth, texture, color, or a feeling of nostalgia. Old books are one of the most affordable and effective tools for creating a nostalgic home aesthetic. Their faded covers, worn pages, and varied colors bring instant character to shelves, coffee tables, bedside tables, and entryway consoles. For fall, choose books in warm brown, forest green, burgundy, mustard, or aged neutral tones. Stack 3 or 4 horizontally beneath a candle holder. Place a small ceramic vase on top, or arrange them beside an antique clock. You can even open one beneath a pair of reading glasses to create the impression that someone has just stepped away for a cup of tea. This is what makes vintage decorating so enchanting. It suggests a life beyond the objects themselves. Your vintage fall home decor should not feel like a store display. It should feel as though every corner has a story waiting to be discovered. If your home has a fireplace, the mantel is the perfect place to create a memorable fall cottage centerpiece. Start with one large focal element, perhaps an antique mirror, an old landscape painting, or a vintage window frame. Then layer smaller pieces in front: brass candlesticks, ceramic pitchers, framed botanical prints, stacks of old books, and natural branches. Avoid making every object exactly the same height. Variation creates depth and gives the arrangement a collected appearance. For an especially nostalgic look, bring in dried hydrangeas, oak branches, seed pods, and softly colored leaves. Vintage-inspired fall styling often feels strongest when nature and antiques are mixed together rather than separated into different categories. Better Homes and Gardens has also highlighted enduring ideas such as pressed leaves, seasonal produce arrangements, dried wreaths, and natural gourds as examples of fall decorating with lasting nostalgic appeal. Let the mantel feel abundant, but leave enough breathing room for every beautiful object to be noticed. Pumpkins will always belong in autumn, but a vintage cottage home does not need dozens of bright orange pumpkins competing for attention. Instead, choose a more curated collection of heirloom-style pumpkins and gourds in cream, muted green, dusty orange, pale yellow, and soft brown. Group them in old wooden bowls, antique baskets, ironstone dishes, or weathered crates. Try placing just one beautiful pumpkin beside a stack of books and a brass candlestick for a quieter interpretation of fall decorating ideas. Current design commentary has also favored more natural, organic, and restrained seasonal styling over glittery or overly synthetic decorations, with muted heirloom pumpkins and natural branches helping create a more timeless atmosphere. Think of pumpkins as accents, not the entire theme. When used thoughtfully, they become part of the story rather than overwhelming it. A vintage fall dining table should feel less like a formal showroom and more like a beautiful gathering that could happen at any moment. Begin with a linen or cotton tablecloth in cream, warm beige, faded floral, or muted plaid. Add mismatched vintage plates, antique silverware, cloth napkins, and small candle holders collected in different shapes and heights. For the centerpiece, skip the oversized arrangement and create something lower and more intimate using pears, apples, gourds, dried flowers, branches, or dahlias. Decorative plates, fine china, silverware, embroidered linens, and antique wood all contribute to the sense of hospitality associated with traditional, memory-filled interiors. The most important ingredient is imperfection. Perhaps one chair does not match the others. Perhaps the napkins are slightly different. Those details make your fall table's cape feel personal, welcoming, and genuinely alive. kitchen can become one of the coziest rooms in your entire autumn home tour, especially when you embrace practical objects as part of the decor. Display wooden cutting boards, stoneware bowls, copper molds, old baskets, ceramic pitchers, and vintage-inspired canisters. Fill a bowl with seasonal apples or pears and place it where the family naturally gathers. Drape a small plaid or floral towel over the oven handle and add a tiny vase of dried flowers near the window. Open shelving is a wonderful opportunity to display mismatched dishes, old teacups, and handmade pottery. The key is to avoid turning every surface into a seasonal display. Leave space for the room to function. A true cottage kitchen feels warm because it is used, not because every object is decorative. Let your cozy kitchen decor celebrate everyday rituals, baking, gathering, serving, and making ordinary moments feel special. Imagine ending a crisp autumn day in a bedroom layered with soft linens, a vintage quilt, warm lamplight, and the quiet beauty of old furniture. Your cozy fall bedroom decor does not need to be dramatic to feel seasonal. Start with bedding in cream or soft white, then introduce warmth through a quilt in faded floral, plaid, or patchwork. Add one cinnamon-colored blanket, a moss green cushion, or a small lumbar pillow in burgundy velvet. A wooden bedside table styled with an antique book, a brass lamp, and a tiny ceramic vase can complete the look. Traditional window treatments or simple cafe-style curtains can further soften the room and add a nostalgic touch. The goal is a bedroom that feels peaceful and slightly old-fashioned in the best possible way, a place where autumn encourages you to slow down. Nothing transforms vintage fall decor quite like warm, gentle lighting. During autumn, your home should feel increasingly beautiful as daylight fades. Use table lamps with fabric shades, antique brass lamps, wall sconces, and candles to create pools of soft light throughout the room. Try placing taper candles in brass or silver holders, pillar candles on ceramic plates, and tiny votives inside glass jars. Remember to use candles safely and never leave an open flame unattended. The magic of vintage lighting comes from layering. Instead of relying on one bright overhead fixture, create several smaller sources of illumination. Light can reveal texture in old wood, make glass sparkle, and turn a simple floral arrangement into something cinematic. When evening arrives, this cozy home aesthetic becomes less about individual decorations and more about atmosphere. And atmosphere is often what people remember most. One of the most inspiring parts of vintage cottage decorating is that you do not need to purchase everything new. Visit thrift stores, flea markets, antique shops, and even your own attic with fresh eyes. Look for wooden frames, ceramic bowls, brass trays, old baskets, embroidered linens, vintage artwork, and weathered furniture. A simple secondhand item can become beautiful when styled with intention. An old pitcher can hold branches. A tarnished tray can organize candles. A stack of mismatched plates can become wall art. Vintage fall decorating is also wonderfully sustainable because it celebrates reuse and imagination. Cottage-inspired decorating sources frequently emphasize mixing old and new and finding beauty in objects with visible age and character. Before buying another seasonal item, ask yourself, what forgotten object could become more beautiful with a new purpose? The most timeless autumn decorating ideas often begin right outside the door. Fallen branches, dried hydrangeas, acorns, seed heads, pine cones, autumn leaves, and seasonal flowers can bring extraordinary texture into a cottage interior. Place branches in an old stoneware crock, frame a few pressed leaves, or create a simple wreath from natural materials. Seasonal produce can also become decor. Apples in a wooden bowl, pears on a shelf, and small gourds gathered inside a woven basket. The beauty of natural decorating is that it changes with the season. A branch may slowly dry. Leaves may deepen in color. Flowers may fade into a softer palette. That gentle evolution makes the home feel connected to the rhythm of autumn rather than frozen in one decorative moment. Natural, garden-inspired layers are also increasingly valued for seasonal displays that can transition gracefully through the wider fall season. Now here is the detail that separates a beautiful vintage cottage home from a space that simply feels overcrowded: editing. You do not need to display every antique, every pumpkin, or every fall accessory you own. Choose pieces that work together and allow them room to breathe. Create small vignettes rather than covering every surface. Repeat colors and materials throughout the house so each room feels connected. For example, if you use antique brass in the living room, repeat a little brass in the bedroom or dining room. If deep green appears in a pillow, let it return in a ceramic vase or botanical print. This repetition creates visual harmony. Vintage style is about abundance of character, not abundance of stuff. Before we reach our final thought, tell me in the comments, which vintage fall decorating idea would you love to try first? Antique wood, old quilts, brass candlelight, thrifted treasures, or heirloom pumpkins? I would love to know. And that brings us to the heart of today's vintage fall cottage decorating ideas. Creating a timeless, nostalgic autumn home is not about copying a perfect picture or buying every new seasonal trend. It is about choosing the colors, textures, objects, and traditions that make you feel something. A worn wooden table, an inherited quilt, a thrifted brass candlestick, a bowl of apples, or a branch gathered during an afternoon walk can all become part of your home story. Let your rooms feel warm, personal, collected, and wonderfully imperfect. As you embrace cozy fall home decor, autumn cottage style, vintage home decorating, and the beauty of a nostalgic home, remember that the most timeless spaces are the ones that reflect the people who live in them. If you enjoyed this cozy autumn home tour, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more home decor inspiration, and share it with a friend who loves vintage cottage style. And until next time, light a candle, pour something warm, and let your home become the place where autumn memories are made.